Hello class, this is Daniel Lewis answering in response to the questions that we had about Common Core for physical education. This is an interesting one for me because I am not familiar with Common Core. I honestly have never heard of it before because I've not been teaching at all, and I don't know if this is more pertinent to the high school level or what area or field this is important for, but it's something that I haven't been exposed to. I've heard the name, I've heard people talk about it, and I didn't know what it was referring to or anything about it. So what was nice is, doing all the reading, everything seemed pretty new. So one of the things that helped me and that I checked out first was the facts and myths about Common Core. So that was just helpful to be able to see some of the different bits of information as far as like where did Common Core come from, the standards, what started it, and from at least what I read from the fact sheets and talking about the myths and the facts, it said it was state led, that this is something that the states decided on. Um, it's not a federal mandated. It's not something that they've been doing, but it's something that the states are trying to come into agreement from state to state. So the standards are to raise the bar. It's to help with education. It's to help with students. The whole idea is to raise the minimum so that some of the schools that are lagging behind, they're going to be able to catch up. Just talked about some of the different content, just seeing how getting students ready for math and science and English. I wasn't familiar with exactly what Common Core, but apparently they all have Common Core standards, so it makes sense now that I read it and see the name. So that's been helpful to learn about. Another one that was very helpful that I had read and had learned a decent amount about was there was a little article on authentic learning for the 21st century. And this one was helpful for me because I was able to see about how experts have blind spots. Most faculty have little or no training in the art of science and instruction. This is basically talking about when you become an expert in the field, you're not going to be able to help the students as much with the scaffolding, with starting at the low spots and knowing how to teach them, working bit by bit, because you're going to have some of those areas. It's going to come so easy and natural to you that you're not going to realize or recognize that students beginning in that field are going to have difficulty understanding it. So you're not learning with them. You already know the information and you know it pretty well. So being a teacher, you need to be able to help break down the pieces. And so this is a good point to bring up, and it's great that they're talking about this in the education field, and how it's great sometimes to have if someone's a physicist, they probably shouldn't be teaching some of the basic math basic science principles in eighth grade or freshman science. So they're going to really struggle. They might not teach the kid as well as someone who is it has basic knowledge about the science and is learning and trying to help them learn the way they do. So I can see how that's going to be helpful and beneficial. So that was just a couple of the things that stuck out to me as I was reading, and how to use that information for the physical education and the lessons, for the 4 C's: creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and communication. From everything I've seen, the whole idea behind Common Core is to have a new way of thinking and learning. It's more of a Renaissance style, helping the students to see things critically, to look at things differently, to something that they're passionate about or interested about. And also they want to create that collaboration and teamwork. And I see that that's interesting. Obviously we have that since we're physical educators. There's going to be a lot of teamwork and collaboration because we're working together for a common goal. Communication, all those things are through sports. And I can see that a lot of those principles are passing over into education, and that's for a good reason. Sports help people with things, and create those skills. So that's encouraging to read that, and I can see how that's going to be implemented anyways in sports and coaching. So coming up with creative ways, working together, thinking, why do we do things? So these are all good things, and I think that can really help as far as educating. In the field, if I were to get into teaching at the high school level, which I don't anticipate doing, I can see how different, how the Common Core can be effective at helping build up and raising the bar for everyone. So, looking forward to hearing you guys' responses. Thanks.